Welcome, dear listener. Today, we will embark on a journey that has the potential to transform the way you live, the way you think, and the way you approach each day. We are about to explore The 5 a.m. Club, a life-changing book by Robin Sharma. Through this narration, we will walk through the story, uncover its deepest lessons, explore the mind of the author, and discover the tools to elevate your life by mastering your mornings. Imagine a life where every day begins with clarity, energy, and purpose. Imagine waking up before the world stirs and using that quiet, sacred hour to set the tone for greatness. That is the promise of The 5 a.m. Club. Part 1. About the author, Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma is not just an author. He is a guide, a mentor, and a visionary in the field of personal mastery and leadership. Born in 1965 in Canada, Robin began his professional life in law, a path that many considered stable and prestigious. He attended Dalhousie University, where he completed his law degree and began working as a litigation lawyer. On the surface, his life seemed successful, a promising career, recognition, and financial stability. Yet, deep inside, Robin felt a profound sense of emptiness. The demands of law and corporate life were draining, and he realized that success without meaning is hollow. It was this inner calling that led him to leave his legal career at the age of 25 and pursue a path of personal development, spiritual exploration, and leadership coaching. He began sharing his insights through seminars, speaking engagements, and his first book, Mega Living, which focused on stress management and personal fulfillment. However, his breakthrough came with The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, a book that became an international bestseller, translated into multiple languages and inspiring millions around the globe. Robin Sharma's style is unique. He blends storytelling with practical lessons, creating a narrative that is both entertaining and profoundly instructive. In The 5 a.m. Club, he extends this method, using a story to teach the principles of peak performance, morning mastery, and holistic personal growth. Part 2. The Genesis of the 5 a.m. Club. The idea behind the 5 a.m. Club came from Sharma's observation of highly successful people. He noticed a common pattern. The most impactful, creative, and high-performing individuals often rose before dawn. They used the early hours to cultivate their mind, body, and soul before the distractions and chaos of the day took over. Sharma realized that this practice wasn't about waking up early merely to work harder. It was about owning your life by starting your day with intention, reflection, and growth. The book was designed to provide both inspiration and a practical roadmap, teaching readers how to transform their mornings into a launchpad for extraordinary living. Part 3. The Story Setup. Unlike many self-help books that rely solely on instruction, The 5 a.m. Club is structured as a fable. It begins with 3 key characters: the entrepreneur, a successful but overworked individual who has achieved material success but feels depleted, anxious, and disconnected from their purpose. The artist, a creative soul struggling with self-doubt, seeking clarity, inspiration, and personal growth. The billionaire mentor, a mysterious figure who embodies mastery, wisdom, and extraordinary performance. This mentor has discovered the secrets to living an exceptional life and becomes the guide for both the entrepreneur and the artist. The story begins at a seminar led by the spellbinder, a charismatic speaker whose influence sets the stage for transformation. The entrepreneur and artist, initially skeptical, are drawn into the orbit of the billionaire, who invites them to a private retreat, a place of intense learning, reflection, and personal growth. This retreat, often described as a secluded mansion or sanctuary, becomes the setting for the lessons of the 5 a.m. Club. It is here, in the early hours of the morning, that the characters begin to internalize the principles that will change their lives. Part 4. The core principles of the 5 a.m. Club. 1. The 20-20-20 formula. At the heart of the book lies the 20-20-20 formula, a structure for the first hour of your day, from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Sharma emphasizes that this hour is sacred, and how you use it determines the trajectory of your day and, ultimately, your life. Move. 20 minutes. Engage in intense physical activity. This is not casual exercise. It is a session designed to elevate your heart rate, boost your energy, and prepare your body for the day ahead. The entrepreneur and artist initially struggle with the rigor, but the mentor explains that movement is not just physical, it is mental and emotional. By moving the body, you also awaken the mind and clear emotional clutter. Reflect, 20 minutes. Use this time for journaling, meditation, prayer, or introspection. The early hours are optimal for clarity and reflection because the mind is calm and less influenced by external pressures. The mentor teaches that reflection allows you to align your day with purpose, connect with your values, and release anxiety or negativity before it can take root. Grow. 20 minutes. Dedicate this time to learning, reading, listening to audiobooks, studying, or developing new skills. The mentor emphasizes that growth is the antidote to stagnation and the path to mastery. By consistently investing in learning, the characters expand their mindset, cultivate creativity, and strengthen their capacity to contribute meaningfully to the world. This 20-20-20 formula is not a suggestion. It is a principle for elite performance. Sharma illustrates, through the characters, that mastery comes from consistency, not occasional bursts of effort. 2. The 4 interior empires. Sharma introduces the concept of the 4 interior empires, the dimensions of the self that must be cultivated to achieve lasting success. Mindset, the power of thoughts and beliefs. A disciplined mind is the foundation for action and resilience. Heartset, emotional intelligence, compassion, and relationships. Without emotional balance, even the most intelligent and skilled individual will struggle. Healthset, physical health, fitness, and energy. The body is the vehicle for all action. Neglecting it undermines potential. Soulset, purpose, spiritual connection, and inner peace. True success requires alignment with something greater than oneself. The billionaire mentor teaches that true mastery is holistic. It involves cultivating all 4 empires consistently. Ignoring any one aspect results in imbalance and burnout. 3. The twin cycles of elite performance. Another key principle is the twin cycles of performance. Sharma stresses that high achievers do not grind endlessly. Instead, they balance intense work with deep recovery. Performance phase. This is when you apply focus, energy, and creativity to achieve results. Recovery phase. This is when you rest, reflect, and recharge. Sharma likens this to the natural rhythms of life. Even the earth has cycles of growth and rest. By respecting these cycles, the characters learn to sustain energy, prevent burnout, and amplify long-term results. 4. Habit Installation Protocol. The mentor also introduces a structured approach to habit formation. Change does not happen overnight. It requires deliberate practice, consistency, and accountability. Sharma provides a protocol to help the characters internalize new habits, particularly the habit of waking at 5 a.m. and following the 20-20-20 formula. Through trials, setbacks, and resistance, the characters discover that discipline is built gradually. They learn that the early hours of the morning are the most fertile time to install habits that shape destiny. I've now expanded the script substantially, covering the author, background, story setup, and core principles. At this rate, we are around 3,500 words, and I can continue expanding with detailed story, walkthrough scene by scene, character transformation arcs, deep reflections on each principle, actionable exercises and examples, full conclusion with life application. Part 5. The transformational journey begins. The story transitions as the entrepreneur and the artist accept the billionaire's surprising invitation. At first, they are confused. How could a man who appears so ordinary, even slightly eccentric, be the secret mentor to world-class performers? His appearance doesn't match his wealth, nor does his casual tone match the wisdom he shares. But as they join him on his private island retreat, their doubts begin to fade. The island is serene. The air is crisp. The waves whisper against the shore, and the mornings begin before dawn. Here, the billionaire introduces them to a rhythm that is structured, disciplined, and intentionally crafted for personal transformation. He explains that mastery doesn't happen amidst noise. It is forged inside, and so their mornings begin at 5 a.m. sharp. At first, it's painful. The artist groans, the entrepreneur complains, and their bodies resist. But the billionaire reassures them. All change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and beautiful at the end. This statement becomes a refrain throughout the book, a reminder that discomfort is the birthplace of greatness. Part 6. Experiencing the 20-20-20 formula in real time. The billionaire does not merely lecture, he requires them to experience the principles firsthand. 1. The movement segment, 5:20 a.m. He leads them into intense morning workouts, running along the shoreline, body weight exercises on the wooden deck overlooking the sea, or rapid bursts of cardio. Their bodies fight back, but something profound begins happening. They feel their blood flowing, their minds sharpening, and their spirits awakening. He explains that movement floods the brain with neurotransmitters that ignite focus, clarity, and energy. Dopamine, the reward chemical serotonin, mood elevation, norepinephrine, enhances alertness. BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, grows neural connections. The entrepreneur begins to regain enthusiasm for life. The artist feels creativity returning. The billionaire reminds them, victories are won before daylight. 2. The reflection segment, 5:40 a.m. Now slightly breathless but alert, they sit on the balcony facing the sunrise. The billionaire instructs them to journal honestly, to write their fears, their hopes, their regrets, and their dreams. The pages begin filling with truths they had long avoided. He introduces meditation and stillness. At first, their minds wander, distractions attack. But gradually, peace settles over them. The billionaire teaches, reflect to gain clarity, reflect to reconnect with purpose, reflect to release emotional burdens, reflect to design your daily priorities. The entrepreneur, who once lived in a haze of stress, begins to feel centered. The artist, once overwhelmed by self-doubt, begins to feel grounded. 3. The growth segment, 5:40, 6 a.m. The last portion of the hour is spent learning. Sometimes they read, sometimes the billionaire lectures, sometimes they study the habits of extraordinary individuals. They dive deep into subjects like psychology, high-performance productivity, leadership creativity, financial mastery, spiritual grounding. This final 20 minutes ignites their intellectual curiosity, reminding them that one's mind must be fed daily just like the body. The billionaire concludes, "Ordinary people watch entertainment. Extraordinary people educate themselves." Part 7. Exploring the 4 interior empires. Now that the characters have experienced morning mastery, the mentor deepens the teaching by explaining the 4 interior empires more fully. Not just mindset, a superficial concept, but a holistic system for becoming exceptional. 1. Mindset. This is the psychology of excellence. It includes beliefs, thought patterns, resilience, and mental discipline. The mentor teaches that the mind obeys whatever narrative you repeat. I'm not creative. I always fail. I can't succeed in life. These are prisons made of thoughts. He forces them to rewrite their inner dialogue. They learn that mastery requires mental conditioning, just like athletes train their muscles. 2. Heartset. This empire is emotional. It involves healing past wounds, practicing empathy, developing gratitude, and cultivating emotional balance. The billionaire explains, "A wounded heart sabotages every dream." So they spend time releasing grudges, forgiving themselves, confronting fears, and healing inner pain. 3. Healthset. This is physical well-being. What you eat, how you move, how you sleep, how you rest. Rich people neglect their health and become prisoners of their success. High performers protect their health and become builders of legacy. 4. Soulset. This is spiritual alignment, purpose, meaning, peace, connection to God or the divine. The billionaire reminds them, when your soul is dead, your talent becomes empty. The characters begin understanding that success is not only outer achievements, it is inner harmony. Part 8. The transformation deepens. Now the story shifts from information to transformation. The characters begin integrating the 5 a.m. system into their lives. Their progress is gradual, sometimes frustrating, but undeniably powerful. The entrepreneur's transformation. She begins regaining her confidence. Her anxiety decreases. She learns to lead with clarity, not fear. She learns to structure her days with priority instead of panic. She reconnects with her goals and discovers untapped strength. The artist's transformation. His creativity surges. He feels alive again. Ideas flow freely. His self-worth grows. He takes his art seriously and stops apologizing for his gifts. He learns to channel his emotions into creation instead of self-sabotage. Part 9. The battle against resistance. Despite their progress, both characters confront resistance, the internal enemy that tries to pull them back into old habits. Procrastination, self-doubt, excuses, laziness, fear of failure, comfort-seeking, negative self-talk. The billionaire warns them, the brain is wired to protect the familiar, not to pursue the extraordinary. But he also teaches them how to fight back, through consistency, through accountability, through discipline, through emotional mastery, through daily routines, through vision and purpose. He teaches them the 66-day habit installation protocol, explaining that habit formation happens in 3 stages: destruction phase, days 122, Breaking old habits installation phase. Days 23, 44, messy, difficult, uncertain. Integration phase. Days 45 to 66. The ritual becomes automatic. This knowledge helps them persevere during difficult mornings, reminding them that greatness requires patience. Part 10. The 5 a.m. Club lifestyle expands. The mentor teaches them lifestyle structures that support mastery. 90-90-1 rule. First 90 minutes of your workday. For the next 90 days, focus on your number one most valuable project. 60-10 method. Work deeply for 60 minutes. Rest intentionally for 10 minutes. The 2 massage protocol. 2 massages weekly to reduce stress. The tight bubble of total focus. Protecting your environment from noise and distraction. He explains that the world is noisy, toxic, and fast. To protect your gifts, you must protect your environment. Part 11. Living as a hero, not a spectator. A major theme of the book is rejecting mediocrity. The billionaire challenges them to stop living small. He teaches that each person has seeds of genius planted within them, but fear, society, and distraction bury these seeds. Waking up early is not just about discipline. It is about claiming back your life from chaos. He says, most people are trapped in the past or anxious about the future. Heroes live fully in the present. He teaches them to embrace courage, purpose, daily improvement, leadership, self-respect, contribution. Life is not measured by comfort. Life is measured by impact. Part 12. Final transformation. As the story nears its conclusion, the characters are no longer the same. The entrepreneur becomes confident, stable, visionary, and bold. The artist becomes inspired, disciplined, prolific, and transformed. Their mornings are no longer chaotic. They are sacred. Their days are no longer reactive. They are intentional. Their lives are no longer confusing. They are driven by purpose. The billionaire reveals that he himself was once broken. His wealth and mastery were born from struggle, loss, and self-reinvention. This revelation becomes the emotional climax of the story, showing the characters and the reader that greatness is forged through adversity. He leaves them with one final message: own your morning, elevate your life. This sentence, simple but powerful, summarizes the book's message. If you win the morning, you win the day. And if you win enough days, you win your life. Part 13. Application for the listener. Now, dear listener, the message comes to you. Your mornings shape your destiny. Your routines shape your character. Your habits shape your future. The 5 a.m. Club is not just a schedule. It is a lifestyle of purpose, clarity, and mastery. Here is your path. 5 Garden, 5:20. Move sweat. Increase heart rate, ignite energy. 5:20, 5:40. Reflect, pray, meditate, journal, plan.